Hello guys, welcome to week 5 in computing skills. You haven't seen me yet, but I'm Katrina Johnson. I'm taking over for Chris while she's on holidays for you guys. So yes, welcome to week 5 in computing skills for university. This week your assessment was released yesterday. Sorry, I should have done this video yesterday, but I got busy answering consolidation activities. So yes, the assessment 2 has been released and it is due on the 27th of December. So 2 days after Christmas on the Sunday night. You've got through to the Sunday night to submit. Assessment 1, you guys should have all handed in by now. Please check your emails and double check that it is submitted, that you've submitted the correct assessment. If you haven't submitted the correct assessment, you'll probably see a few emails. Okay, marks for assessment 1 are released next Monday. Okay, so on to week 5 and formatting a report. So in this week, you're going to be looking at section breaks, editing individual sections, creating a footer for a report, page numbering for reports, captions, tables of contents, the report title page, which is different to the one for an essay, and of course the page numbering is different to that from essay. You're also going to be putting things like changing your page numbers. That's where the individual sections comes in, and you're going to be adding headings down in the footers. So there's all sorts of interesting things happening, completely different to the essay. So don't use the same footers as the essay. Don't use the same title page as the essay. You are doing different things here. Now, just a quick look at the week 4 consolidation activity. Okay, so paper size is A4. That is the Australian size. Make sure you always go in and check. This will not just be set by default. Margins should be 2.54 top and bottom, 3.17 left and right. Again, check that they're set right. Your text should be either Times New Roman 12 or Arial 11. Now, whichever one you think or you prefer, you can use either one. You should have 1.5 line spacing, and you should have the 0 points before and 12 points after on the paragraph spacing. And please watch for those extra enters. They turn up, especially at the end of the document. Any spare enters around the place. If there's a little backwards P on the left-hand margin, it's a spare enter. The only time we accept those is after a table, because the text bumps the table, or on the title page at the very top and bottom of the title page to add the spacing. But that is the only time we will expect to see those at all. Oh, I lie, actually, and in the table of contents, there's that extra narky little one that you can't get rid of. If you try and delete it, it deletes everything. But, you know, he's an odd one. He just gets put in there and you don't get a choice. Okay, tabulated text. I know everybody struggles with tabulated text, or not everybody, but some people struggle. It's actually not as horrible as it seems. The biggest secret to tabulated text is to select from the very first word to the very end word. So you have all of your lines selected. Once you've selected them all, it is a simple click in the bottom half of the ruler to tap a left tab stop. You've basically got to look at these things, work out where the longest one is, go up to the ruler just past him and tap once. You've then got to go up to the top left where your little icon is to change and tap a couple of times till you get to the right one. And then again, just tap once in the bottom half of the ruler. Now if you tap in the top half of the ruler, nothing happens. And when I say tap, it's a distinct tap, because if you tap and drag your mouse down, you remove it again. So you've undone what you did. If you're not happy with them, it is a case of just click on it and drag it left and right to fix it. So it's not hard and it's quite doable. Let's have a look at some tabulated text just to show you for sure. Okay, so here's some tab text similar to what you have in the activity. Simply click. Well, you've got to make the first line bold, so let's do that so we've got him out of the road. From there, it's simply a case of clicking. You can either use your drag or your click at the front and shift click at the end, but selecting everything in there. Once you've done that, you'll see over on the top left hand side here, you've got your little L. That's your left tab stop. So as I said, you find where the longest tab is, and that's not always easy to see because, you know, they can get hidden. But you click in the bottom of the ruler at the top. Now, if you really can't tell, you can move him back and forth, and that will give you a good solid idea of what's going on. So let's move him back and forth until we've just got a little gap there. So we know that this is a time thing, and time is always right aligned because of once we hit the 10, 11s and 12s. So let's go over here. We need to right align. So click once, that changes it to centered. Click twice, and if we hover, you'll see it's changed it to right, or it's a backwards L, is what I like to call it. So again, let's just click right over close to the right margin and see what's happening. Oh, look, that looks pretty good actually. We could even move him a little bit closer back, but I think I like a little bit of space. And I might even just drop this one that bit further through. So there we have how to do tabulated text. It's not that difficult. It quite literally is just a case of selecting, tapping once, tapping twice, and maybe a little bit of dragging if you're not happy with them. Okay, let's go back. Multi-level lists. So multi-level lists are quite literally a case of type it all in. Once you've got all your content typed, you add just a normal numbered list. And then where you want it to be indented, you click at the beginning and you tab. Or you can use your indent tool. But let's throw back to this. I don't have any content in here. Again, select, add your numbering, click in front of it, tap your tab key to indent it, to unindent. You can actually tap shift tab, that will actually reverse it. You could also use your indent key and again reverse your indent with your decrease indent. But let's go sub item 1, that's indented. Sub item 2. You can select multiple things and indent them quite easily. Now, because it's not the 1.1.1, this is where we will actually select them all, pop up to our multi-level list and choose the particular list one we want. That will change it to the 1.1.1.1.2, and as it goes. Your multi-level dot points follow the same thing. Select them all, put the dot points on, then tab or indent the ones you wish to be indented. So not hard stuff there. Okay, navigation pane. The navigation pane is brilliant for finding things. In Windows, actually in both Windows and Mac, it is on the left. You can access it by going to View in both Windows or Mac and then ticking the navigation pane. In Windows, you've just got to make sure the little headings icon tab is ticked. In Mac, you click on that second little tab, and that will show you all your headings, if they're numbered, and whatever you need. Now you'll note that the heading 2s have been indented. The heading 1s are sitting on the left in both. Very handy to find your way around to see what's going on. Click on one of those headings and it will take you to the heading in the document so you can work around that section. Okay, styles. So you guys need to modify the styles. So my main heading here, I want to make it heading 1. So I can simply click on it and click on heading 1. I need to make him Times New Roman 12, bold, and all the other stuff. To do that, what we're going to do, instead of just making those changes and then having to make the changes to every heading, what we want to do is we want to actually modify this heading so that we want to actually modify this heading so that every main heading has that style. To do that, if we've made the changes like I've done, make your changes in your normal sort of font changes. What you can do is you can make those, then you can right click and go update heading 1 to match selection. So every heading 1 that you add will automatically have been given all of those settings that you created. So you're changing the settings to suit you. Now, when it comes to heading 2, let's do it slightly differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the heading 2, but I'm going to right click, and this time I'm going to modify. So I'm going to modify all the different things within that little heading 2 modify box. So Times New Roman 12, let's go black, bold, 1.5 line spacing. And don't forget, you can come down to this format to go to paragraph to do things like your paragraph settings to whatever you need to do, as well as the left line and the line spacing. It can all be done in here as well. Alright, so we can go OK there. I'm sure I've missed something in what I'm doing, but this is just a quick example. Once I go OK on that, you'll see that my heading 2 style has been modified and the subheading is now setting where it should, or looking how it should. The normal content, so normal text like this text here, should be modified as well. You should modify this to your Times New Roman 12, and what you'll find is anywhere that normal text will have been set up, to the changed things. It's all fixed and you don't have to go and change it on every bit of text. Everything has automatically changed to the Times New Roman 12. So make sure you do your paragraph text, you change your normal, you change your heading 1, heading 2. When you do add your title in, so let's go add a control enter to add a page break. If we add our title and subtitle, and we want to add title here, and let's go to subtitle here. Again, make sure you modify your subtitle to be Times New Roman. Once you choose a particular font to use in a document, what you need to do is make sure you use that font throughout the document. So if you choose Arial, make sure everything is changed to Arial. If you choose Times New Roman, make sure everything is changed to Times New Roman. Okay, so that was your styles and modifying styles. That's a important one to do because it does make life easier. You do it once, everything's done for you. Multi-level heading numbering. Now this is a fun one to add. It's quite simple, but what it does is adds the numbering. But you click on your multi-level numbering, be clicked on a single heading. You don't have to select every heading. You just have to be clicked on one heading and it will add it to all of them. Then you need to go to the multi-level list tool and then down to the heading 1, 2, 3. You've got to find the one that has the 1.1.1.1 and the word heading. If you go to the normal 1.1, it just adds normal numbering. It doesn't add heading numbering. Okay, so making sure you get the right one. Let's go to word again. Click on that. Our multi-level list, our heading. Once you click on that, everything will automatically be added. And you'll notice up here in the styles, it's added it to the styles. If it's not showing numbering in those styles, you haven't got it added right. Okay? That's all it takes. That's done. It's quite easy. Removing heading numbering, that's the other thing. It is actually a case of clicking on it. Tapping your home key twice will highlight that numbering and you can delete it. Let me just undo that. And I did miss making this sentence. Now, the other way of doing it, so tapping the home key twice highlights your numbering and you can hit delete. The other way of doing it is just to click in front of the heading, backspace, once to remove the number, a second time to remove the tab. But if you have the centered headings, you've got to proceed to go back and recenter. So that's where just tapping that home key twice to activate the numbering and hitting delete saves you having to go back and recenter. It's just one of those slightly less steps. Okay, that was multi-level heading. Oh, and that's the end of looking over the activity. That has gone through all the main points of the week 4 activity that I noticed that people struggled with. There's a video. I have included it in my email. This is quite a fun video. This gentleman has taken all the Windows sound effects and turned them into a song, and the orchestra plays it. So I hope you enjoy. Check that out for a little bit of fun. It is quite literally just a little way to add a bit of humour into your day. At this point in term, I know life's getting a bit stressful and there's lots of assignments due and all sorts of things going everywhere. And add Christmas on top of it and presents and family and kids home from school. I think we all need a little bit of humour. So check that one out and enjoy. I do have also in my PowerPoint that's included in the email, this is just a bit of a report layout to help you when you're hitting week 5 in the report. because you have section 1. When you do your report, the only times you will want your section breaks are between the title page and the executive summary, and then between the table figures and the introduction. Everywhere else will have a page break. Now, the only exception to this is when you need to turn the page for your landscape, image, or graph. You will use section breaks there. But other than that, you only actually have section breaks where you're wanting to change the contents of the footer or change the sections, individual sections in your document. Now, number 2, look at the order. It goes executive summary, table of contents, tables of tables, tables of figures. That is the order of the front matter. From there, our body has the introduction, the main body, the conclusion. The references kind of falls between body and end matter. You could call it body because it's like in the essay, it's a main part, but then it doesn't have numbering, so it's, part of the end matter in some ways. As far as your heading numbering, no heading numbering on the front matter and no heading numbering on the references and appendices headings. The footers, you'll have Roman numerals in the footers of the front matter, so only down to table of figures, and then you'll have normal Arabic numerals in the rest of the document, and this is where you're also going to have your little style ref headings. You don't have the style ref headings in the front matter. They only happen from the introduction on. Okay, so that's just a bit of a visual. I'm a very visual person, so that's a bit of a visual on the report layout. And I have a few CSU hints and tips that I'd like to send out. These are a few word shortcuts that you might find helps. Right, that is it for me for the beginning of the week video. Hello, and how you going? Anyway, please feel free to email me any questions. Keep sending me those consolidation activities and I will reply and try and make sure I explain things as clearly as possible. And if I'm not clear, please let me know. Okay, have a good week. And yeah, enjoy your week 5 activity and getting things done. See you later.